about something I care very deeply about, and that's the Fallout franchise. And I want to do, I want to hear the enraged soy tears. Anyway, everybody knows Fallout New Vegas is S tier. We're not going to talk about it. Everybody knows Fallout 2 is S tier. We're not going to spend any time talking about that. These two are given no-brainers. If you disagree, I quite literally do not fucking care. Like, I flat out do not fucking care. You're wrong, and you're probably not very intelligent, because whatever it was that made you go to those two conclusions is some kind of just retarded level of schizo logic I don't even want to hear. Anyway, so for the first hot take, Brotherhood of Steel, actually not the scum of humanity. Basically, it was a shitty ARPG Diablo clone. Really, the biggest problem with this game was the stipulation that you had to clear all the enemies. That's it. That's the only real problem with the game. Some people complain that the women are too sexualized. Shut up, pussy. I don't care. Some people complain that the story isn't very... Shut up, dude. It's a fucking ARPG. Diablo and PoE, they don't have good stories either. No, this game's biggest crime was that you went to a fairly trendy, albeit not at the time trendy and mainstream franchise, and did something different. That was this game's biggest fucking crime. As far as a gameplay mechanical problem goes, you had to clear every enemy to continue to the next mission. And some maps were fucking huge. So it would have that Diablo 2, like, imp cave situation where you spend like 20 minutes looking for that last enemy. Really, apart from that, this is just a mid at best kind of game. The people who act like this game is so bad we just pretend it doesn't exist, they're people who at best watched a single fucking YouTube video on it that, was some like, oh my god, guys, it's the worst thing ever. I'm gonna soy out. I'm soying. Oh, kind of shit. Anyway, so the pit. The pit's probably the best Fallout 3 gets. I think the pit's definitely up there. If I had to play, I always look forward to the pit in Fallout 3. I look forward to the yard. I like the atmosphere. I like the moral decision at the end. The pit's pretty good. This is what is this? Let me, Watson, zoom in, magnification. I think this is Broken Steel. Broken Steel kind of sucks, if we're being honest. The retconning of the game's ending because Bethesda fans are mainstream bitches and they can't stand games actually having an end. And then Fallout New Vegas just absolutely fucking, cucking them and being like, no, games actually having an endpoint isn't a bad thing. Turns out games going on forever, just endless trials of slop, is the bad thing. But as far as the actual missions went, it's more fighting the Enclave. The perks were nice. This is definitely down there. Is it as bad as Brotherhood of Steel? Honestly, yeah. Yeah, I actually think it is. It really is fucking down there. Broken Steel, I feel like people don't recognize how bad Broken Steel is. It's like because it's because people are afraid of games having a definitive end. That's what the problem is. They just want to go on forever. Mothership Zeta is garbage slop. It is a fun romp, but it is way too wacky for Fallout. Yeah, Bethesda only Fallout fans, listen up. There was a time when Fallout really wasn't that wacky. Yes, Fallout 2 had a lot of retarded pop culture references, but the lead director, the fat gay guy, the one with the white beard, I'm completely forgetting his name. He runs a YouTube channel. Really smart. Not Mark Nesmith. Fuck, whatever. I'm sure it'll come to me later. He said that just all those are non-canon. They are just non-canon things that they threw in because it's what they liked at the time. But this is actual trying to the canonization of aliens and like eldritch beings into Fallout was the worst fucking thing that started spelling doom for the franchise. And in the same vein, Operation Anchorage fucking sucks. So Operation Anchorage completely broke the balance of the game. The winterized power armor is the best in the game. All it takes is that, the toughness perk, and the cyborg perk to basically be at the cap for damage resistance. You can, even if you start it very hard, bum rush to this DLC. You will end it at around like level 6-ish. You get 6 free levels. You get the best equipment in the game, and you get power armor training. This DLC single-handedly ruined Fallout 3 as a game. You could at least start it on very hard, and it was an interesting game for the first 10, 12 levels. However, this DLC opened up the door to completely remove the only interesting part of Fallout 3, which was the early game. This is Fallout Shelter, and it is actually not a terrible mobile game. If you like mobile games, it is not terrible. If you don't like mobile games, this one's not going to change your mind. Fallout 3 kind of fucking sucks, like, as a whole, if we're being honest. Like, let's just be real. Guys, the biggest praise people have for Fallout 3 is that it's good at feeling empty. You know, it feels like a wasteland. Motherfucker, are you stupid? You just said the game is good at doing nothing. Like, you literally just said that, but you tried to dress it up to make it seem nice. Are you fucking dumb? Do you know what other game is good at feeling empty? The entire first half of New Vegas, where you're in the desert and there's only like 2 towns. The entirety of the first Fallout. Fallout 2, before you get to, like, not Chicago, to LA. Every game's good at feeling empty. Yeah, you know why Fallout 3 feels like it's a desolate fucking wasteland? Because there's nothing in the game for most of the time. It's more empty than New Vegas. The story is complete dog shit. The world building is fundamentally broken. There is no water. There's supposed to be a water crisis, right? But nobody fucking acknowledges it. The world building is completely broken at a fundamental level. There's no water, there's no plants, there's no food chain. People just exist in this bubble. Fallout 3 is all kinds of fucking terrible. I will at least give it some brownie points for being 3D Fallout, which kind of cool. Oh, another problem is Fallout 3 is a canonized fan game, which is why it's so bad and so different from every other game. Todd was a fan of Fallout 1 and 2, and when Black Isle was going out of business, and this was Todd's first major decision as one of the heads of Bethesda Softworks, he just swooped in and basically stole it at auction out from under the Black Isle employees who were going to buy it back and then rebrand under a new company under it. Yes, I've done quite a lot of research into Fallout. I like the series a great deal. Automatron is awful. You can finish this story in literally 20 minutes. It is 3 like radiant fetch quests, basically, given to you by a talking robot. You then fight a goofy comic book villain. It is awful. The companions it adds are either completely useless or overwhelmingly overpowered and ruin the balance of the game. Contraptions is not a DLC. It's literally just stuff for the workbench. Look, you might say that's a little unfair to put these into D tier. Motherfucker, this is a sponge. Like, this shit, literally, you can start both of these DLCs and experience everything in them within 30 minutes. If you're gonna try and tell me that these can hang with something like The Pit, or God forbid, like, fucking Dead Money, you're out of your goddamn mind. Fallout 4 is, honest to God, the worst Fallout game. I would rather play 76 than Fallout 4. This is where we can really separate people who have good taste from people who have bad taste. This isn't just me being a hater either. Fallout 4 has a worse story than Fallout 3. Just everything about it. The gunplay. People go like, oh, at least the gunplay is good. Motherfucker, this is a game in 2015. You're aware that, like, Doom 1 had better gunplay than Fallout 3, right? Like, people go like, oh, the gunplay's better than the previous Fallouts, and it's like, oh, wow, some of the industry's worse. It's better than the industry worst. Wow, that's like a tripping hazard. The bar is so low. Fallout 4 is genuinely awful. They removed character building. They removed building around your style of weapon. They removed story. There's less content than Fallout 3. There's less quests. Fallout 4 is the quintessential bad video game. Anyone who tries to tell you there's anything redeeming about Fallout 4 is a fucking literal soyak. Like, they are a literal fucking meme. Because the only compelling part of Fallout 4 is to ignore everything. Ignore the main quest, ignore every quest, ignore all dialogue, and play it like it is a complete desolate survival game. You can only enjoy Fallout 4 if you have like a 200 mod list that just removes all dialogue, removes everything, and basically play it like it's fucking Frost when Frost was a new mod and there wasn't all the gay-ass story shit in it. Far Harbor is the best Fallout 4 is gonna get, but it is still stapled onto Fallout 4. Also, Far Harbor is not nearly as good. People love to glaze the fuck, like they like to just rim, you know, they like to just like, people love to glaze the fuck out of Far Harbor, but like, guys, let's be honest, them trying to convince you that you might actually be a synth yourself, retarded, stupid, completely objectively impossible plot point. And it's like the twist reveal of the DLC. Arcadia is fucking stupid. When people say Far Harbor is good, I feel like they only played the first 25% of it and then forgot about the rest. Yes, the beginning of Far Harbor is amazing, but then you get to Arcadia and it's like, wait, this is fucking stupid. Then you talk to the children of Adam and you're like, wait, this went from stupid. This went from great to stupid to retarded. And it just slides right back into the canyon of mediocrity that is Fallout 4. And Nuka World could have been good if, you know, it wasn't literally just non-stop combat encounters from start to finish. And then the final choice is a non-choice. It also really leaned heavily into that like eldritch alien bullshit. And these are look, these are non-DLCs. Like just straight up, these are non-DLCs. Anything where the only thing that it does is add to the workbench is a non-DLC. It is items you place in the camp if you even interact with that system. That's not an expansion. That's not even DLC. By the way, all these items were already in the game. These were random, like, trash clutter items in the world. They just added a price tag to let you place them in your camp. You know what? These 3 DLCs are so fucking bad. I wish I could have a tier just for them. This is something that literally was made day one as a mod on Nexus. And they were just like, fuck it, we'll charge for it. Fallout 76. Ooh, this is where all the fucking retards who have no good taste in games and are just like, they're just like watching YouTube videos and shit are gonna call me an idiot. Fallout 76 is better than Fallout 3. I'm gonna straight up say it. Go ahead. All you garbage ass trash taste having people, go ahead. Rim me in the fucking comments about how bad I am. I'm not counting the launch of Fallout 76, and I'm not counting where it is now with the DLCs. I am talking about an incredibly narrow period of time that I know none of you motherfuckers got to experience. I am talking specifically because this is on here, so this is a different game, mind you, different game. Fallout 76, when they stuck to the no NPCs and before they started updating it. After the first couple updates that fixed all the problems with like bugs and shit, and before all the DLCs that added the garbage that ruined that will not ruin, but made the game even worse. Fallout 1. Need I say more? The original Fallout is a masterclass in just about everything. No, seriously, if you don't know why Fallout 1 is an S-tier game, then really all I have to say is one of two things. Either you need to go play it and you'll immediately understand, or 2, you are a Zoomer who has terrible taste in games and you should stop playing games and go back to watching TV because games are too complicated for you. Oh, you can't find the rope to get into Vault 15? This game sucks. I can't find the rope. I need a guide for the rope. Explore the fucking map. You'll find it, dude, or you'll find a merchant that sells it. Fallout Tactics, good game. Not really talked about, and most people have not played it, but it is basically a Fallout LARPer's wet dream. It is not bad. Dead Money is amazing. Dead Money is everything that Operation Anchorage should have been. It is non-traditional Fallout in the best way. The colors and the radios, people love to say that they get annoyed by it, but like, bro, literally just fucking run past it. Like, literally just walk past it. 90% of the radios, as long as you aren't like meandering around doing nothing, you will just get past it. The way it incorporates the Brotherhood as a completely failed faction is great. The secret ending is nice. The ability to clip out with the gold is a great use of game mechanics if you understand the engine well enough to do it. Dead Money is everything that non-traditional Fallout ought to be. Remember when I said the pit is as good as Fallout 3 gets? I was joking. Point Lookout is actually as good as Fallout 3 gets. Courier Stash should have been like up here when it's implemented in like the Jay Sawyer mod, and they're spread apart from the world. Unfortunately, as it stands now, this is paying to make the game worse. This completely breaks the early game in so many ways. Basically, it makes the first 5 levels of New Vegas, just like Fallout 3, the most interesting part of the game. You know, when your character has restrictions and you actually have to plan and think. Yeah, it takes that part of the game and just ruins it. Oh, you can one-shot everything for like the first 5 levels with the grenade launcher. And you can also one-shot almost everything with the chrome shotgun. Ah, God, this DLC. This DLC, had Jay Sawyer's vision been implemented and these items were just spread across the world, it would have been like just a passable whatever money milking machine. But as it stands, it is paying to make the game worse. I'm dying. Gunrunner's, that's fucking Todd smiting me down for my blasphemy. Gunrunner's arsenal is okay. It adds some cool, interesting weapons. The challenges are a nice touch. Doesn't really add or subtract from the game. It's just more weapons in New Vegas. Honest Hearts, however, is actually just bad. I know that people are going to crucify me for this because of how much they love to fucking glaze Joshua Graham. But, guys, one character who, if you aren't espousing all of his optional dialogue, makes up less than like 2% of the total DLC, cannot carry the DLC. I'm sorry, it can't. It just straight up cannot carry it. Joshua is an NPC that you at least only have to click like 3 dialogue options with, and then you never have to interact with him. At most, he's just a pretty cool character that has no impact on the game as a whole outside of lore that happened before you got to start playing the game. So Joshua is cool. I'm not going to deny that. The perks that it added weren't bad. Only like one of them is actually used if you aren't making like some trash RP build. And even when you are making an RP build, the perks it adds are just fucking useless for the most part. The weapons that it adds, most of them aren't good. The 45 pistol is great though, and a light shining in the darkness is the best pistol in the entire game. It's the highest DPS. And the regular 45 ACP that can be silenced is like the best silenced weapon in the game. So it does get some bonus points for that. But guys, like, if you just try to get in and out, quickly play through the DLC, it only lasts like 15 minutes. You can start and end this DLC. By the time this DLC feels like it should be getting started is when it stops. It really feels like you should do all the fetch quests. This DLC is literally 90% fetch quests, then one final quest where you just walk in a straight line into a boss fight and then it ends, and it only takes like 20-30 minutes. I'm sorry, you're delusional if you think this is a good DLC. However, on the opposite spectrum, Lonesome Road is amazing. It adds the best medium armor in the game, which is arguably the best armor in the entire game. It adds some of the best perks in the entire game, you know, stuff like Burden to Bear. It adds an interesting moral dilemma at the end. And if you aren't a fucking moron and you can actually comprehend what Ulysses is saying, look, if you're the kind of person who regularly goes on Reddit and you chuckle at like Ulysses being depicted as a soy jack, and just saying like bear bull, bear bull, bear bull, then you're just a fucking idiot, and I bet the message of this DLC went over your head. But Lonesome Road and Dead Money have amazing messages. The philosophy, the political commentary, just everything. And what makes these DLC so good, Lonesome Road in particular, is the fact that if you are a Reddit level retard, you're going to walk away from the DLC with like, you're going to be like this stupid fucking meme. Hold on. Courier and Ulysses Soyak meme, where it's like the fucking, you know, where it's like, Ulysses just going like bear bull, and it's like the NCR Ranger going like, I have no idea what the fuck you're saying. You know, it's like that. I love that, by the way. When people's biggest criticism of this DLC is that they didn't understand Ulysses and what he was trying to say, it's like you're literally saying that your taste is so bad, you're too stupid to understand the messaging of the DLC. That's why you don't like it. And it's like, oh my god, why would you announce it? It's like when people ask for a TLDR. It's like, what, you can't fucking read? Anyway, Old World Blues is kind of in the middle. It's too goofy for my liking. It doesn't tie into the rest of the game or the DLCs super great. I understand it foreshadows Ulysses and gives you a bit about Elijah and the one mute bitch from the Brotherhood, but like, it's too far in the goofy direction for me. But it's only like a step too far. I actually enjoy the Doctors, and I think the Doctors are the best part of the DLC. I like the hidden ending that you can try to achieve, and I like the thematics of letting go of the old world and leaving the past behind you. This is like the top of B tier. It's like, it's, you know, I'm on the fence. This is like B+. If there is a B+, it would go here. Wild Appalachia sucks. This is the PvP update. PvP in 76 might as well not exist. PvP in 76 is literally just abusing duplicated, glitched legendaries that you can't get anymore unless you buy them off someone on, like, eBay, and eating 1 million consumables so that you have infinite health. So, okay, if you've never played PvP in Fallout 76, it boils down to there are old legendary items that you can't get anymore that existed from dupes and glitches, and you can still buy them on eBay. So what you do to be competitive in this PvP is you get a credit card, spend $30 to buy these old legendary armor and weapons, and then you just stock up on like Nuka-Cola Quantum, so you have infinite VATs and 100% health regeneration. And unless you can get a nice crit one shot with like 50 addictions going, the battle is an endless stalemate. Yes, Fallout 76 PvP sucks that fucking badly. Or was that Nuclear Winter? Honestly, I forget. Both these updates were fucking terrible and didn't bring anyone in. Wastelanders is even worse, believe it or not, because Wastelanders was when they added NPCs into 76. Yeah, what could have been an interesting story was completely ruined because of retards on Reddit complaining that a Fallout game needs NPCs. You know, newsflash, RPG games don't need NPCs to be good. They just don't. There are two forms of RPG game. There is the traditional GURP style that Fallout was, where you get numbers and you slam them down on a table and you do combat encounters. And then there's like what most people consider RPGs now, where you have 1 million dialogue options and blah, 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 blah. You do not need dialogue to be a role-playing game. There are entire D&D campaigns centered around just fighting and nothing else. The Legendary Run is just Battle Pass garbage. Steel Dawn is women ruined Fallout. This is the Brotherhood being added into 76, and basically, you can sum this entire DLC up with this. Had the scribe lady not broken the Ultra radio transmitter, the east coast of Fallout would not be as underdeveloped as it currently is. Because when the NCR and the Legion have basically rebuilt societies, the Brotherhood is over here sitting in a fort doing nothing. So, like, the entire east coast of Fallout is a desolate wasteland where people still have skeletons in their houses and shit, and there's no water or anything. Meanwhile, in the same time frame, the NCR has legitimately rebuilt society. And this can almost entirely be boiled down to her destroying the transmitter. And these two they're bad. I honestly do not remember off the top of my head what they are, but the Fallout 76 DLCs just kept changing up the formula, which just kept making it worse and worse and worse. They had an original design vision, and because of retards on Reddit, they had to give up that vision. Oh, we wanted to tell a story without NPCs. Oh, well, people on the internet said you can't do that, so we have to immediately buckle and break. Fallout 76 is an interesting idea that just got ruined by people.